You're listening to After the Review.
After the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After Review. I'm your host, Peter. We're back after a week delay. We had a little bit of snowpocalypse. Joining me this week is Matt, right? It was a little sketchy down here in Texas for a bit.
It was a little day after tomorrow-esque, I guess you would say. Like, you seeing the skyline of Dallas, and it's just like you can see the tip of the Reliant Tower or whatever that's called here in Dallas. Yeah.
You gonna go Dennis Quaid out there and save the world, climbing out in the snowy blizzard? Yeah, it was sketchier. So we had to take a little bit of time off, but let's hop right into it. Kind of got some scary, sketchy news yesterday with. Man, Tiger Woods got in a bad car accident, flipped his car, rolled over. Yeah. It was a little touch and go, it looked like there for a second. I mean, just seeing the pictures kind of came out. They said they had to use the jaws of life to get him out, which they later recanted, but still, it was kind of scary for a second there.
Yeah, man, for a guy, who kind of had like a little downturn, 5-10 years ago and came back, won the Masters, really close to the sun, and just kind of on the up and ups, and back in good graces with everybody, and clean, and doing the right thing. And it's just tough to see, a guy like that. It's tough to see anybody get in a car wreck, obviously, but a guy like that, he's a lot, is a hero to a lot of people, and a lot of people look up to him. You don't really want to see that. And it's, yesterday I was really upset. I thought he was, from the news we were kind of getting, it was like you said, touch and go. So that would have been a tough day if we lost Tiger. Hopefully he is able to come back and play again. But I'm sure he's glad to just be alive right now.
Yeah, that's probably the forefront thing, that he's alive. He's okay. It seems we kind of got that news early enough in the day where they said they didn't believe to be life-threatening injuries, but. It sucks. It kind of crossed your mind again because he had the little run. It's like, oh God, is he back on? Back off the wagon again? Was he drinking or doing pills again? I know he had a back surgery recently to try and get ready for the Masters again, but they said he was responsive and all that stuff. He didn't seem like he was under the influence of anything. And then I know people kind of came out talking about where the accident was, and they said that road is pretty sketchy out there in LA. Must be steep and narrow, got some tight turns or something. It's just kind of easy. Right. Lose control, going a little too fast. But injuries weren't great. God, it destroyed his legs, basically, it sounded like. I mean, both portions. Had a rod put in his tibia, had pins and needles put in his ankle. Like, sounded like it was, both legs are just totally crushed. And I talked to our resident MD on the show, even though he's not a doctor. Don't call him a doctor. Talston, Mr. Physical therapist guy. And he said, barring like an amputation, this is probably the worst possible injury you could have. Just a crushing injury to your bones. Yeah. Very traumatic, he said. Don't expect anything within a year. I'm really worried about long term. Like, are we ever going to see him play professional golf again? Realistically, right. His body has been through so much, torn ACLs, the back surgeries, all of it.
You gotta assume the back part. This doesn't help at all, right?
No,
it makes it worse. So it's compounding things. Not only is it's the legs, it's the jarring force of. Going however fast he was. You look at the front of the car, he's probably going at least 50 or 60, right?
Yeah, how are those muscles going to recuperate to that?
Yeah, right.
Tough,
man.
It's sure. Really tough because I know we were getting, the Masters is right around the corner. Everyone was kind of getting ready for that, and that's probably the one major he's, always got a realistic shot to win just because of the way that course plays and his game stuff. But he's 45 years old. You don't recover like you used to. At least a year. People are saying like you can't even use those legs at all for he's realistically probably not going to be walking for 5 to 6 months, I would think.
Yeah, I would agree, man. Yeah, just a tough one for sure. I know a lot of the guys like on the tour and we're wishing him good luck and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's tough for golf when Tiger's not playing for sure. I've enjoyed watching him play the past few years. So
Yeah, golf is nobody watched golf ever until Tiger came on the scene, and then golf was pretty unwatchable when Tiger was, going through his stuff, and then nobody watches. I mean, let's be realistic. People really don't watch golf. I mean, the ratings just kind of prove that unless Tiger's in it on Sundays.
Yep.
You just don't get the pull. I mean, of course, I watch golf every now and then because I need to be prepared for this channel because I am a professional. But
committed to the game. Man.
Yes. So, just wishing the best. Hopefully, hopefully this isn't the last we see of Tiger. You hate to see that be the way it ends. Just like kind of a freak accident. Never, not really going out on your own terms. So yeah, but moving on from that, we have, some quarterback news in the NFL we can talk about. Your best friend, your favorite quarterback, Carson Wentz, finally got traded. We missed last week to the Colts in what felt like an absolute fleece. They gave up a third and a second round pick, which probably turns into a first. So basically a first and a third for Carson Wentz. That's the Eagles, man. Hot damn. That feels like a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a tough look for the new guy in Philly, right? He's kind of coming into a situation where it's Jalen Hurts, and
he just said Jalen Hurts is not our starting quarterback.
Oh, okay, interesting. I had not heard that. So I guess they're going to draft somebody at what do they have?
Six.
Yeah. Are they going to try to trade up with the Jets? Try to flip with the Jets? Do they try to make a move at Sam Darnold? There's just a lot of interesting things. I don't know what Philly's going to do. They're kind of it feels like they're just kind of in rebuild mode, right? It kind of feels that way.
Yeah, they don't have a plan, it feels like. I mean, let's be honest. They let this get away from them really quickly.
Yeah, they really did. Carson Wentz was, I thought once they got rid of Doug Peterson, he was going to stay, right? And then now it feels like
nope. He said no. Yeah. He was just like, I'm done with this franchise. I'm done with this organization, and I get it. You don't.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, it's probably just a lot of bad blood, and he just, honestly, for him, he probably just needs a new start, right?
Yeah, so. He goes back to his. I mean, Frank Reich is his absolute bull. I mean, there was talk Chicago was in play, but Carson Wentz was kind of vetoing that trade to Chicago. Like, I don't want to play for the Bears. Felt like he wanted to go back to his boy Doug Peterson, which the reports that were coming out, like, he was the only adult in the room when they won the Super Bowl. On top of it, like, Doug Peterson's not an adult. People say, like, he's kind of the goofy. He's not the man in charge. And, I mean, I would say since Frank Reich left, his record, their records compared to each other's kind of speak for themselves.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Frank Reich, it's kind of been proven now, right, that he was kind of the brains of that operation. As soon as he left after that Super Bowl, it was kind of, So, I just, anytime Philly's bad, I'm glad.
He's giddy with excitement.
But here's the thing. I really like Carson. It was just unfortunate he played for the Eagles, right? So I'm glad he's getting a new start in Indianapolis. I like Frank Reich. Good organization. When Jim Irsay's not off his rocker. So, I wish him the best. I think he's going to do really well. That's a really good team they have around him. But on the other hand, too, like, he has no excuses now, right?
None. You got
Michael Pittman Jr.
Your receivers are okay.
Cox.
I mean, the receivers are okay. The tight ends are okay. You have a very good defense, a great offensive line, and a really good run game. So you don't have to really be doing too much back there. I mean, we saw what Phillip Rivers could do. He's totally immobile. Just think about what they can add to the offense, with some QB mobility stuff, like just even reasonable play action rollouts with Wentz you can put in.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, I forgot who I was listening to, but it's a really good point, and that, just on the fact that he is able to run a little bit, if you run a few read options here and there to keep them honest, Phillip Rivers couldn't do that, right?
No, not at all. He's the least athletic quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, as soon as Eli Manning left, he took the mantle as king statue, So I think Carson Wentz brings a lot of athleticism, crazy talented arm, and he's back with a guy he's comfortable with. So, I expect good things out of him personally. So
I do too. I mean, it is make it or break it for Carson Wentz. I trust them to be better. I know Pat McAfee was furious that they got Carson Wentz. He wanted Stafford, and he just, I don't know, he hates Carson Wentz. But Pat McAfee's kind of old curmudgeon, it feels like these days. He's also boyfriends with Aaron Rodgers, so it's just I don't know if I necessarily trust everything that's going on there, but it is crazy. We kind of hinted at this, the quarterback carousel that was be happening, and it really is playing out that way. I mean, shit. Do you want to talk about Russell Wilson in Seattle? Like, that's getting really awkward.
Yeah. Obviously, I love Russell Wilson. Everyone on the podcast who listens, they know this. Been a fan since he was in Wisconsin. I don't necessarily blame him for being upset. It feels like he does get hit a lot. And now I'm not going to say it's all on the offensive line. Sometimes he does hold on to the ball too long and creates those issues himself. But yeah, it kind of feels like it's DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett, and Russell. And that's kind of it, right? Their defense isn't necessarily outstanding anymore. Now the argument can be made that Russell kind of took a lot of the money for them to make that possible. But it feels like their draft capital, they don't really draft very well on the offensive line. They've missed it.
How bad are their first-round picks? Rashad Penny's like one of the worst first-round picks ever.
Yeah, he's a bust. And it's weird. It's like, it feels like this happens a lot to good organizations. They're terrible at picking first-round picks, but they're really good at, third to sixth round picks. So, because Chris Carson was a seventh round pick, right?
Yeah, he was a later guy. But, the fact that you made that pick over Nick Chubb, who was sitting there, what? They could have had Nick Chubb.
Sometimes it's mind-blowing. Sometimes it's like they try to outthink the room, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's like Pete Carroll has a boy at Fresno State. That's where Rashad Penny's from, right? Fresno State.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he knew a guy at Fresno State, and they just were yanking him off. Like, this is the best guy in the room, like, blah, 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 blah. And sometimes you got to have your scout. That or a scout just really loved him and banged his fist on the table for him and, Dead Poet Society style.
It's weird. And they drafted that guy from Tech this year, that linebacker or whatever, who didn't do anything either. That was a huge stretch. I don't even.
Brooks, yeah.
It's just, they do weird stuff. But I heard this stat. Russell Wilson holds the record for most seasons of 40-plus sacks, and he has 8 of them. So, you wonder why he's tired.
Yeah.
And
he's spending all that money to make sure he's not, in the offseason on his body to be able to play, and he expects, obviously better out of his GM to, dude, give me some guys that can protect me or spend some money on the offensive line or something.
Exactly. And then, Mike Upati just retired, so he was tired of listening to Russell, I guess. It's kind of the only person that's any decent on that offensive line on top of it, so they're even worse. I mean, they're taking calls, but they said about a third of the league's called about it, but they're asking for 3-1s. Same with, Deshaun Watson obviously is still up in the air. Who the hell knows when that gets done? I mean, he's not playing for the Texans this year. That's pretty obvious.
No. Who would you rather have, Russell Wilson or Deshaun?
Probably Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because Deshaun's contract's about to be more expensive, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's about to kick in, right, after this year?
Yeah, and I know Russell can win. Deshaun has not won anything, ever.
Yep.
He won a playoff game and blew a 21-point lead to the Chiefs in a divisional round game. Russell Wilson's won a Super Bowl and been to another. I know Russell Wilson can get it done.
Do you think Russell tries to make a play for New York, the Jets?
I just don't think that team's good enough. I think Russell wants to win. I heard Vegas is the favorite right now to get him if he's moving.
Talk about the most insane quarterback division probably ever, right? Two Hall of Fame guys, AFC West.
Oh, yeah, with
Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson.
Oh, if you add
whoever Denver has.
Yeah, if you add Russell Wilson. Denver could add Deshaun Watson. Denver's definitely in the race for Deshaun Watson, them in Carolina. Yeah. But I kind of think it's going to be Carolina because Carolina's willing to give up Christian McCaffrey, which feels whack. That feels super whack to me. To give up 3-1s and Christian McCaffrey. Yeah,
it feels like you're losing a lot of. Then, who's he going to throw to? It's going to be the same situation for him, right?
I mean, you got Robbie Anderson. You got coach. DJ Moore. Yeah. You got dudes. There's stuff there. You lose your picks. The defense is okay. It's not great. But
Mike Davis is good.
Yeah, I did. It was interesting. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is one injury away from being David Johnson.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you can't argue that he wouldn't be that. I mean, he had a good season. He was come back for? He was hurt most of the season, came back for one game, got hurt again, and missed the rest of the season.
Yep.
So, I mean, it'd be similar. David Johnson was that dude in Arizona before he got hurt and then just never came back. So it's always something you kind of got to worry about. I don't know. We'll see. We also have no idea where teams value quarterbacks on the draft board. I mean, I know we've been hearing some outrageous stuff. Like people have Zach Wilson over Trevor Lawrence, which is comical.
Outrageous. And I don't know if it's a play to make Jacksonville overthink it, because that kind of feels like that's what's happening, right? It feels like, well, everyone thinks Zach Wilson's better, Urban Meyer, but like be stupid and pick Zach Wilson over him. Like, and I don't think Urban Meyer's dumb at all. Like that would be the biggest whiff of all time, right? That's like passing up Andrew Luck, I think. I mean, at this point,
I get the apprehensions about Trevor Lawrence. So like the logic behind where teams are not where they're questioning Trevor Lawrence has never faced adversity ever.
Yeah.
And the little bit he's faced in college, he has not played well. And I think that's a fair criticism. And let's be honest, you're going to be struggling in Jacksonville, especially that first year.
Yeah.
You don't have elite talent across the board, offense, defense, whatever, offensive line. It's just, how does he handle the struggles? Now, I think he's going to be totally fine. And you could say the same thing about Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was only great when his team totally outclassed the other team at BYU. I mean, he was good against Coastal Carolina, but they still lost that game.
I was listening to Kuiper or somebody. Do you value players like quarterbacks not being the team captains in college? Did you care about that? If you're a team, does that like do anything for you?
It kind of matters in college because it feels like they have a dozen captains.
Right. Kind of like the Connor Cook thing, right? He was there. He started for like 4 years and was never captain. I heard Zach Wilson was not captain. Of course, it is BYU. Everyone's like 30 there. He was 21.
Yeah, he's the only normal college-age student there.
Yeah. So, like, maybe that's part of it. And I know some, scouts kind of look into that kind of crap, but I didn't know where you valued that.
I feel like what was that movie? That movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner? I feel like this came up. He's like, he wasn't even voted team captain,
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just wondering where you valued that personally. Like, to me, it's just kind of like, get me in front of the kid, let me talk to him type of thing.
I think, I would prefer if he was the captain.
Yeah.
Especially if he's there. I mean, you kind of want your quarterback to be that dude. You need a quarterback to lead. Like, everyone talks like, I know Terrell loves to talk, hey, man, he's not that guy. This guy's talented. We've seen, like, because, those are the kind of guys Terrell's likes. Like, he don't got to do that. Not everybody got to be like that. I mean, everybody who is a quarterback, there is no quiet leader at quarterback who's an elite dude. Those guys you are Mr. Personality for a reason. And we've seen it. Like, Marcus Mariota did not work. Because,
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, because he was Mr. Quiet. He was, not
Jimmy
lead.
G kind of feels like that.
Yes, Jimmy G is kind of another guy that's not super fiery, and he's kind of, Teddy Bridgewater, another, not super fiery guy that.
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Soft a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, man,
Hey,
Frank Wright, what's his face? Chris Ballard, the GM of Indy, wanted Derek Carr over Carson Wentz, just FYI. They were trying to trade for Carr.
Are you for real?
Yes,
wow.
He preferred Carr over Wentz.
Does that shock you?
No. I mean, people like Colin's been giddy with excitement about that stat because apparently people in the NFL love Derek Carr. Like, the Raiders are bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Oh, man. Is Mariota – so if they deal Carr, Mariota's going to be a starter, obviously, right?
I don't know.
Or do you think – I've heard a lot of people saying that people kind of want Mariota, too.
Yeah, they're definitely taking calls for Mariota. I'm assuming they're going to trade him and keep Carr. And just
Mariota to the Patriots.
No, Cam's coming back. What you mean?
Yeah.
Did you see that exchange with Cam, by the way, at the camp?
With that kid?
Yes.
Yeah, he's done that before, apparently. Like,
Cam?
Cam talks a lot of shit at those things, apparheapparently.
Yeah, but that kid was being an idiot.
I agree. I don't agree with it at all. Like, it's Cam Newton. What are you doing?
Like,
he's won a Heisman, a national championship, been to a Super Bowl, won the MVP.
But Cam was being dumb. Like, I didn't love it for Cam. Like, his reaction, he's like, where your daddy at? Huh? I'm rich. Like, Cam, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares you're rich. Like, dude, duh.
Yeah, it's kind of a cornball thing.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm rich. So, like, why are you questioning me? I'm like, Floyd Mayweather's rich too. The man can't read. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Cam. Like,
you
just
can't read a page of Harry Potter book.
Yeah, just like look the kid and be like, Heisman Trophy, NFL MVP, 10-year NFL starter. Like, you in your wildest dreams, you'll never reach this.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So Cam definitely could have handled it better. And then he came out and said, like, I just know there's not 32 quarterbacks that are better than me. And he's probably right. I don't know. I think Cam overthinks how good he still is. My man can't throw at all.
I'm trying to think. He's not better than Kyler Murray. He's not better than.
He's not top 20. I'll tell you that for sure.
He's better than Tua.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Tannehill's better than him. Whoever's the Saints start, probably better than them.
Yeah, he's better than the Saints guy. He's better than Trubisky, I would say.
Yeah, he's better than probably like 2 or 3 guys. He's probably like 28.
But he's not good. So
yeah, he's a starter, but he's not like a guy.
I think he's just defensive. Like again, a guy who's never had adversity and is realistic adversity on the football field for sure on the football field.
Yeah. Once he kind of lost that twitch that kind of happens to those kind of quarterbacks, right? Who are kind of run first, throw second type of guys. They kind of rely on their legs a whole lot, and then once they kind of lose their legs, it's just kind of like, well, they never really committed to learning how to throw the football, and you're kind of seeing that with him. And kind of like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was kind of the opposite, right?
Yeah,
he ran a lot, but he learned how to throw. So there's 2 roads to that, you kind of diverge on, and Cam took the right road, in this case, the wrong road. Yeah. And so, and Russell Wilson took the other. So,
he never learned how to throw accurately, and they tried. I mean, they put in that soft passing West Coast system with North Turner that one year, and, it was fine. It's just like, hey, the man's not accurate. It's hard to be.
Yeah.
Not everybody's accurate. I mean, apparently you can learn it. I don't know about at his age, because Josh Allen learned how to be accurate, apparently.
Yeah.
So.
And they're lucky they kept that OC. I don't know how Dayball didn't get a job.
Oh, he'll be a head coach next year.
I'm sure the Bills are giddy.
Yeah, he'll be a head coach next year. And we don't even need to get into the head coaching Eric Bieniemy thing too, probably. But he lost I'm convinced. Hey, man lost some steam after that Super Bowl, though, for sure.
Ooh, yeah, man. We didn't even touch on that.
Yeah.
So, no, I agree. That's a tough look for him right now. Him and Andy.
That's a real tough look for those two there. So they're going to have to figure that whole situation out. But anyway, we have other sports in the universe. Apparently, they play this thing called basketball.
I've heard of it.
Yes. You've ever heard of this? Hoop ball?
Yes.
Yes, of course. So they had of course, there's never an NBA season without some all-star controversy. They named the all-star rosters, and I'm hype. My man Zion made his first all-star game because he's an absolute freak. My man is shooting 66% from the floor. Like, that's not even feasible. How good Zion Williamson is. I mean, the Pelicans are absolute trash, but Zion's great, and you love to see it. But, of course, everyone in the West was freaking out because Devin Booker didn't make it. And it's like, okay, well, who are you not putting on? I mean, it was Chris Paul or Devin Booker. And, I mean, Chris Paul made it. I get it. Colin had a really good point. He's like, okay, let's be real. You've been telling me how great Devin Booker is for this long, and they've won dick. Chris Paul gets there, and they're the 4th seed in the West. Like... Let's not kid ourselves. Phoenix never won anything ever with Devin Booker, and now all of a sudden they're an elite team. So and Chris Paul. The Thunder had to get rid of Chris Paul because they were doing too much winning with Chris Paul. They were trying to tank, and they made the playoffs. So
I'm kind of just looking at the starters list. Like, who's he better than on the starters? Who's he better than? He's probably better than Jaylen Brown.
But you got to go East-West. They're doing it East-West and then open draft. So, tough. You have to play. The West is just stacked at guard. Yeah, he's not better than Lillard. He's not better than Donovan Mitchell. The Jazz are the best team in the league right now.
Not better than Luka. He's not better than Steph.
Luka. Even though those Mavs are terrible right now.
Yeah, Bishop doesn't want to hear this, but if we don't, put something around him, he's out of here.
Oh, Luka? Yeah, he might be.
And then Bishop likes, of course, like, I'm sure Luka and Dirk are really close, but I think that only matters so much, right, for a guy who wants to win.
That's true. Yeah, but what do you mean? Dallas is great with those white European players. That's you pass the torch. It's the home.
I know.
It's the spot. He did hit that dagger the other night. Luka did hit a dagger.
That exact same spot that he did against in the playoffs.
Against the Clippers.
The Clippers. Yeah, it's the exact same spot. Maybe not as deep as the Clippers one, but it's close.
Yeah,
he loves that spot.
He definitely likes that spot, and he missed one 2 nights ago. Before he hit the game winner, he missed the game winner, and he was upset about it. And I was like, oh, you love to see it. Guy miss it, come back the next night and hit the game winner.
Yeah.
It's like, you love to see
set
it.
of balls on that guy.
Yeah. Or just learning to get better. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Luka's going to leave. But they definitely got to put a team around him. Let's see. Anybody else? Oh, Zach LaVine in the East getting some love for those terrible Chicago Bulls. And Julius Randle for the Knicks. But at least the Knicks have been kind of solid. I mean, I guess the Bulls are okay too. But
there's your boy Ben Simmons.
Yeah, he should be there. The Sixers are in first in the East right now. For now. Because it's getting awkward. I'm not feeling great about my Brooklyn Nets take right now. They've won 7 in a row without the full cast of characters playing. They just they're winning and it's working, and I'm not happy about it.
Yeah. Who's been out for them?
It was KD. KD's been out a bunch, and then they rotate Kyrie, Harden. Guys take nights off. I don't think they've put they haven't put all 3 on the court through this winning streak. So they went out on a 5-game road trip, won all 5. They're up to 7 in a row. They're cooking, and it's they play 0 defense. But if they play even just a crumb of defense, just a crumb, it's hard. But we'll see. Sixers are still in first in the East. They haven't been playing great lately. Ben Simmons has been out. He had the flu, allegedly. Not the coof, which is good. But, we'll see. Everybody else in the East kind of feels meh. The Jazz are literally unstoppable in the West right now. They're in first by a good chunk. And I think they've won, let me see what this exact number is. I think they've won 24 out of 25.
Whoa.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's Donovan Mitchell and them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
That's a good squad.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 25 out of 26 they've won.
Oh.
That's a something.
Decent.
And it's amazing. We kind of slept on them last year because they're kind of the whole start. I don't know if you've heard of this thing called COVID. It kind of all started with them, with them getting pulled off the court and Rudy Gobert, testing positive. Touching all the mics, and Donovan Mitchell got it, and that's what everyone thought you were gonna die from this thing, and it kind of, it just didn't mend.
Psychos about this last year.
This is true. I mean, it's laughable. We're not gonna get.
I'm not trying to downplay it, listeners. I'm just
saying.
Things
are good. The numbers are in very good shape right now. But nobody knew, so it was a whole thing. And I guess they're back on the mend and they're back at it. So it's them. The Lakers have been really bad. It's not looking good for not looking good for the Lakers at all. Bron's got too many minutes. AD has been out, and Bron's been trying to drag that corpse of a team. They blew a 17-point lead to the Wizards, who were bad, and lost that game in overtime. It just, I'm really, really worried about LeBron and the Lakers. Terrell's like, don't worry about it. Don't question it. He'll always be playing. I'm like, Terrell, the man is going to have just a little less in that tank come playoffs, and a little less in the tank the last 4 minutes of a game in a 7-game series send your ass home. It's, it's just
true.
That little bit of math right there. But
who does Vucevic play for?
Vucevic plays for the Magic.
Do they have a new logo?
No, the sparkly little ball.
Yeah, is that? Have they had that?
Yeah, for a while.
Okay.
Are you thinking 1990s Magic where it just says Magic?
Yeah, I guess so.
There you go.
Hey, there you go, listeners. That tells you all you need to know about me, right there.
Yeah, all he knows is his freaking Dallas Mavericks, and maybe he'll
the Lakers.
Yeah, hop in a little bit to his maybe some hockey. Watch some Dallas Stars over there.
Oh yeah.
Too. But yeah, struggling. I do know. Here's something interesting. A Vegas take for you. Before the weekend, you could have got the Jazz were as hot as could be. You could have got the Jazz at 12-1 in the futures. Pretty decent number easily out there in Vegas. Maybe 10-1. Westgate Superbook, which is probably one of the best, sports superbooks over there, they have the Jazz at 5-1, and they're not budging on that thing. So either they know something, or they're trying to hedge. They're already liable for a lot on the Jazz. I don't know, but they said, we're going to dare you to bet the Jazz. Basically, it's we don't want to pay out the Jazz, but if you want to give us your money and not really get much return in it, we'll take it. But that kind of has me worried that they I don't know, you know how Vegas is. They're not very wrong too often.
No, they're not. There's a reason there's all those nice ass buildings and condos and casinos for a reason.
Oh yeah, they yes, those are not built from them losing money constantly.
No.
And sports is always near the top of doing well out there. So I was very interested by that take when I was looking at the numbers, and I was like, Jesus, what do they know? And I don't know if I could dig and see if maybe they have a ton of, because the Sharps bet Westgate on top of it, so they got a lot of sharp action out there. So smart people throwing money down. This should tell you something, people. And then maybe it's just a great bet. I know the Nets you were still getting a good line on the Nets still. So I don't know. I always be checking Vegas just to kind of see which way the tides are swinging and how they actually feel about teams, because you'll know how Vegas feels about teams just based on what they do.
Right.
So, I mean, it's something to watch for. Trying to think of anything else that we missed in our snowy-ass week over there. Yeah, I don't know. There were some fights, some UFC fights. Those were always fun to watch. Baseball's starting back up. We're about to be getting here in a bit. I think there's games coming up this week for spring training, which is, hooray, exciting. Love to see it.
Yay.
Yeah, nothing beats April baseball.
Yeah, we got Red Sox Twins,
Ew.
February 28th.
Ew, forget the Red Sox.
12:05. Okay, how about your Yankees Blue Jays?
Oh, yes, I'm excited for my
great day.
team. It's win or bust for the Yankees this year. We'll have a baseball. I'm sure I'll have a baseball pod
Hey,
with Scott coming up here.
What the hell, Aaron Judge?
What?
Fixing his teeth? Who does he think he is?
What? They still got big teeth, don't he? He just got the space fixed?
Yeah, Bishop, I don't care. I would fix him too. But Bishop was saying that he kind of screwed his Strahan vibe he had going.
You don't need a Strahan vibe. He's just a big man vibe. But I get it. Hey, man.
I said he's a big hitting bombs and raking money in kind of guy.
Hey, he's finally getting paid. This is the first year he's getting paid. So if you got
10
that
million?
I mean, yeah, he's been getting paid like a couple $100,000. So he getting some stats.
He had some nice brand deals.
Oh, he absolutely did. I mean, he's had that Pepsi commercial for the last two seasons. He was just like, "Hey, Pepsi, hey, New York Slice over here, hey," typical, typical New York. Yeah, even though he's from California.
Yeah, no, those new teeth. Yeah, man, good for him, dude. Those teeth look good, man.
Oh,
if I had
man.
money like that, me too.
Oh, man, are you trying to say you might be over there trying to pick, trying to slide into there, find your way into that cash profit,
Maybe.
And you gonna be a switch hitter over there, if you know what I mean.
He's 6'7", 282.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know he was
Gigantor.
280.
No, he's good. Gigantor. Play
Holy shit.
play DN in the NFL. What you mean?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is a massive human.
Yeah, and he runs like the wind too.
Yeah, that is frightening.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, he gets
I
hurt
would
because
hate to get some.
he gets hurt because he be moving too fast in that big body sometimes. Be diving
I'm
around
sure
all
he
over the
does.
place.
Psycho. That is giant. That is frightening. He might be in my top 5 now. Those scary humans.
We'll get him in the weight room. We'll teach him how to tackle. See if he can take a tackle.
Jesus Christ. Anyways.
I think that's a good place to end it on this week.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully no more crazy winter storms for us to miss a week. And again, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you all next week.